Hello, and thank you for tuning in today. I'm actually going to be reviewing the gun right here on your left. This is the Smith & Wesson Bodyguard. Let's go ahead and do a safety check on it and show that it's cleared. This is actually the M&P Bodyguard 380, and so we're just going to be looking at this. Like I said, the gun is clear. Now, to start off with, you'll notice, got a little dirt on there, that's because I carry it. You'll notice that it has no controls whatsoever on the right-hand side of this firearm. Now, from left to right, we have the takedown pin, we have the slide release, and we have a safety, which you cannot operate right now. A slide is back, but that is your manual safety. We have a very positive slide release. Looking down the main housing here, you can see the spring, the main spring. It comes down the back straw for the trigger bar and everything. You can see a little bit of the trigger bar right there. Let's go ahead and take it down. Now, I don't have fingernails, so it's a little bit harder for me. It's a little harder for me to wiggle this out where I do not have fingernails. So I've got two mags right here that come with it. Now, this is the way it comes. This is a 6-round, and it actually comes with this a little bit extended, you know, grip one. But as you can see right here, with this one, I mean, it's okay. My pinky's off, of course. But it just doesn't fit my hand as well as I would like. It's not bad for concealed carry, but for shooting, to have a little bit more controllability, it would be better to have the extended. So I actually picked this up on eBay. It's as simple as pushing this in and removing the floor plate, and it's as simple as that. And then they go in there real nice and easy. They lock in good and positive. They drop out good and free. There's nothing holding it. Good and free. Both mags. It does not snag. Now, as you can see, this is the original width of the firearm. Let's turn it like this. But for my hand, it was a little narrow. And now, of course, this is in 380. This firearm is also clear. Now, this right here is the Mod 2. This is the XD9. It's actually the XDS9 3.3 Mod 2. I really like the positive feel of this firearm in your hand, and I like the width of it. It's got a very nice width. So this is the 9mm. Of course, that's Springfield. And here's the mag for it. Lay that to the side, and we'll just lay that like that right there. But this one little foreplate, honestly, and this grip changed this gun, this firearm, into a completely different. If you can see, I've got all of my fingers comfortably on this firearm. Even though it even high-necked, you can put it in the web of my hand. I mean, get it in there tight. I mean, really get some control one-handed. So when I come into it and I put my finger in like this and I've got it, as you can see, it is a very firm grip and it's very controllable. It's got a good sight radius, and I'm gonna have a cat here in just a minute. I have some kittens. We do a little bit of kitten rescue, so I'm gonna probably have a cat maybe enter the shot, so you just don't mind the little kitty. And they're a little curious. All right, watch out, girl. Go down and play. And but they're a little curious. But I wanted to show you the 9mm to show you the width. And now this grip is called a huge. Let it focus. A huge grip, and you can go to Huge, which is HOGUE.com, to get this grip. But this grip actually makes it almost the exact same width as the 9mm. I don't know if you can tell it, but if I drop the slide on it here, drop the slide here, drop the slide here, just like this right here. Okay, I had the pin, I forgot about that. Okay, and if I put the web area together, as you can see, it's shorter, of course, but for it's the same width. That huge grip really gives it a good positive traction right there. And if we line this thing up, we can really see the size difference. So a little shorter all the way around, and of course this is about a 2-inch barrel. This is a 3.3. This is more like I think this is a 2-inch barrel, and of course this is the 3.3-inch barrel. But slide is a noticeable difference as far as the width. So like I said, this one is 9mm, the XDS, and this one is 380. So, but surprisingly, they're about the same capacity. Now this is actually a 7-round for the Springfield, so we're not reviewing the Springfield, but I just wanted to show you that. For as capacity wise, this is a 6-round, but as you can see, I've got 7 rounds here because I usually have 1 in the chamber, and I have the other 6 in the, so there's 1 round capacity as far as the difference. And you know, we all know that, well, this is actually a 9mm, Browning 9mm short right here, or otherwise known as 380. And basically the same case. It's a little bit different, as you can see. It's a little bit shorter, but basically it's just a 9mm short, 380. A lot of people underestimates the 380. Yes, it's not quite as powerful, but the biggest difference really is the projectile and overall the grain weight. But I would definitely not want to be shot by it, especially one of these rounds, a hot round, high grain weight like that, hollow point. This is just target ammo that I've got out right here. I don't know, this is Federal. No, this is Winchester. So that's just target ammo right there. And this I got right here laying on the table. It's something I carry every day for my EDC. It's just this one's branded a Ultra Fire. It's very nice light. It's adjustable to where you can focus it down. But a very bright. This one I believe is 800 lumens. I believe that's what they said. Well, hold on, right here's the magnetization. You can see it right there. And you can zoom in and out with the thing. And been carrying this for a while. It's a single LED. It's got some nice positive serrations on the front, and it fits real good in the hand. If you was to have to use it, it does have the strobe. It also has the SOS feature. So it is basically a multi-purpose light. You got your solid beam, you got your fast strobe, and then you've got your SOS light. And this is a branded holster right here. It's a little dirty because, like I said, I carry it every day, and it just slides in there and it just holds it. And so that's what I have here on the table. It's just, and it's got, of course, you know, it's got your clip, which is upside down right now, but it's got your belt clip, which you can clip it on your belt and turn it sideways. You can turn it down to the ground. You can leave it on your side, and it'll actually project a beam in front of you, big enough and wide enough to actually be able to see where you're going in the dark. So it just takes either 3 AAA batteries, or you can do a rechargeable battery in it. But we're gonna set that aside. So let's, after I knock everything down. That's part of my EDC. But this is my this is the one to the left. The Bodyguard is my EDC carry gun, and this is my wife's EDC carry gun. She likes this one. She likes the 9. I carry this one in my pocket. She carries this one concealed on her side. So anyway, enough about that. Let's go ahead and take it down. Let me slide back. Now, something about this one that not a lot of 380s has. This one also has the laser. You can see right there, very bright. Very bright. It also has a strobe. Very bright laser. So, that laser is by Crimson Trace. Now the laser is ambi, so it's left or right. The controls is left hand only, made for a right-handed shooter. And they're ergonomical, they're right where you get to them. But now, like I was stating previously, I don't have no fingernails, so I'm going to cheat a little bit here and getting this loose. I'm going to take the bottom of the mag and I'm going to simply push up. And when I push up like that, that little ramp gives it enough to wiggle the barrel. And now watch me be on camera, I won't be able to get this thing off of here. But if you wiggle that barrel just right, you see I put my finger right there on the barrel and held it forward, just wiggled it. And when I did that, right there is your pin. Now let's look at it like this. Give the camera time to focus. Okay, so right there is your pin, and this is how you do not have to drop the hammer because this is a hammer-fired pistol. It is best of both worlds. It is a shrouded hammer, as you can see here. It's a shrouded hammer, but it also has a striker fire block on the inside. So all I have to do is release, slide release, and continue to pull it off. Simple as that. Now it does have your recoil spring right here, your captive recoil spring. It's just a spring, and it is a full metal rod, as you can see. So that's the spring. Looked a little funny right there because it's got a little bit of oil. It ain't got a whole lot. Here's your barrel. As you can see, this is not a complete dry barrel. It's got a little bit of oil on it. See the rifle is right there. Well, you can see a little bit of oil right there. So this is the barrel. I believe this may be a 2 1/4 inch barrel. It's either 2 or 2 1/4. I can't remember. I'd have to get the measuring tape out to measure it, but I believe it's 2. It's maybe 2 1/4. And as you can see right here, it's pretty standard on your mag. Your slide. As you can see right here, you have a roll pin right here to hide to put in your extractor right here. Okay, and then you can see the internals right here, and you can see right here your fire pin assembly. And of course the hammer comes down, hits this striker, and it is striker fire. It does have a firing pin, but it's striker fired in the same way that this XD, this is a striker fire pistol as well. The construction's a little different because this one has a shrouded hammer, but in all, it's basically, let me see if I can. Now this one, this 9mm is a whole lot harder. To take down, in my opinion, which it don't, the lever does not come out. It can come out, but it does not come out. But as you can see internally of this firing block, oh, excuse me, I told you that was a double. I might have said it was a double captive. This one is a single only. This is the dual captive spring right here, and this is a much stouter spring it's still, you can take it off, but this is a much stouter spring on this XD. Here's your barrel. This is the 3.3 right here, but this is a whole lot. But as you can see, the firing block is pretty much, you have a physical hammer right here, and that is what actuates, if you see right there, that's what actuates the firing block on this, whereas this is miniature. But if I had a way to show you, I could show you the firing pin. So the difference is this has got a shrouded hammer that comes back and hits, and this has got, it's a striker fire only, has no hammer, but this is technically is the hammer. So the trigger bar comes right here, and sear, if you see right here, this comes by and it fires by hitting this. So it's pretty much the same concept. It's just a little bit different manufacturing process. But essentially, this is the best of both worlds. This has a hammer, but it also is still a striker fired pistol. It's not like you would see. It's not a direct hammer fired pistol like like say like a 1911 single action. This is a double action 2-stage trigger, and I'll show you that here in a minute. And a lot of people say, well, it ain't 2-stage, but it actually is a 2-stage. You can stage this trigger to the wall, and then it has got a sharp, in my opinion, crisp break. The trigger pull on this one is coming in probably around 9 pounds. Probably around 9 pounds. Now, if you see right here, you can see this crimson trace right here. If you scan that barcode, they give you free lifetime replacements batteries on the laser. So that's that. And now this particular firearm, I like the way it is. It's got 2 roll pins instead of being embedded completely into the polymer. Right there's your trigger bar for your hammer that actuates the hammer internally. You can see how that works. In the same way, I've just got the XD to kind of show you the M&P there. And you've got your sear, and you've got your trigger bar. You just can't hardly see your trigger bar, but it's down in there. Right there's your trigger bar. So a little bit different manufacturing process, but I do like this one. This one, this is a double action only. This one is a single double action. So it's a little bit different. But anyway, we'll put the firearm back together here, and it goes together pretty easy. Now this is field strip, but like I said, on these roll pins, you can press this roll pin and punch this one out, or press them out, whatever you want to call it. Now I don't have my tools with me because they're in yonder and I forgot them, but it actually comes with a tool, a push tool, and you could actually take this all the way down and take this out, unlike this. Now you can to a certain point, but this is not a complete block. You've got a block here and you got a block here, so you got to remove the trigger bar to get to the mainspring housing and your front guides. Now if you notice something, this is not full guided rails. This is full metal. This is actually steel, so it's got steel full guided rails, and this is basically an insert. So if anything went wrong with your mainspring housing or your hammer and all, you could literally take these roll pins out, and of course your mainspring's right there, and you could pull that out, and you could and I also want to notice, if you look down in there, I'm actuating the magazine catch, the release. It is non-reversible. It is not ambi. So this is a right-handed shooter gun. You could shoot it left-handed. Now, if you look at the Springfield, you do have the ambidextrous. So there's a few differences. I've just compared it to the Springfield because this is well known. And by now, I guess the Bodyguard is too. But anyway, I like to go in depth with the review. So let's put this firearm back together. Let's put the spring in here. And it's just as simple as this. It don't take any effort right here whatsoever, and that's as simple as that is. It goes back together really simple. All you have to do is you line up your rails, and it slides real free. There's no catching on it, at all whatsoever. And now when you get right here, if you see inside internally, it starts drawing on that hammer and that trigger bar. Right there you get some resistance. You actually can, I didn't get it caught the first time. But as you see, your barrel, you gotta pull your barrel all the way forward, just like that, so you can see all the way through. And this is the part you wanna either pull it forward like that or put your finger, and just make sure you got the slide release caught. And you wanna put it in this way first. So you put it, there's a little spring that you gotta get around. Then you wanna push it forward like that. And when you push that thing forward like that, it'll actually go around. There's a divot that'll go around that spring. That's it. And of course, anytime you take one down, you do want to check for cycling, so it is clear. And as you can see, I put all this stuff back up here out of the way momentarily. Okay, so you can see that the hammer does not stay back. It's not your traditional. You see how that happens? Your hammer falls down completely out of the way. And the slide release, let me just go ahead and tell you, this slide release, I'm not putting no pressure whatsoever at all, barely touch it. That slide release works better than the slide release on this 9. It's very low profile, but very, very low profile. It does not snag, but it's got just enough positive texture into it that it works well. I mean, you can feel it, but it's not even all that. It don't protrude out from the skin or from the molding of the firearm, the polymer here. It really don't even come out hardly none, but it is good and it's positive. You just give it a good touch. Now it's secure. You're not just gonna accidentally, see here, you're not accidentally just gonna bump it and it's gonna fall. But I like how it's positive, and it's not gonna, you don't have to worry about the slide biting you. And there's some firearms, when you go right here, it'll actually grab your thumb. You see my meat is in there. And I've never had any issues. I never had one single problem out of this. And right here is the sight picture. Get it lined up right there. It does got the serrations. Let me get a little closer for you. Front and rear. Both dovetailed, so you can change them. I do like the fishtail. This is basically like the shield, the 9 shield, scaled down in 380. So this is a very, very, very nice firearm. And I would highly recommend it. Now, the safety, I don't use much. I do like how your finger just lands right over that laser. So it's effortless turning it on, effortless. I mean, you don't have to sit there and struggle. It's just do, and it comes on. But it's not like it's going to accidentally snag and turn on at the wrong time. I ain't gonna just put my finger on it and it turn on. I have to actually use my finger, the pad of my finger, to turn it on. It's not going to be accidentally snagged and hit. So that's very good. Now I highly recommend this. I carry this as my EDC, but it is a little snappy. It's a little bit snappier than this 9 right here. It got a little bit more weight to this 9mm. So you would think that being a 9mm, a little bit more powder, a little bit more grains going down range, that this would be a lighter recoil than this. But actually, this has more muzzle flip or recoil, but it's completely controllable with this 9mm. So let's take the safety off. Once again, let's check. We can see that it's clear. And now let's look at the making sure there's nothing at the muzzle. And I'm not pointing, I'm keeping it pointed in a safe direction. There's no one there. But now let's look right here. I do like this indent right here too for your thumb. It feels really positive, especially with this huge grip right there. But let's look at it. Now a lot of times on a larger frame gun, you would actually want to put the bend of your finger on the trigger so you would get more of a positive. But on this firearm, as you can see that, you can see the hammer working. So that's what I mean. It's a 2-stage trigger, and it's a double action. Whereas on this one, let me put this one back together. Let me show you. Let me see if I can illustrate this on this firearm, what I'm talking about. If I can get this one back together. There we go. On this one, you have to have it lined up just perfect right there. And now this spring's just a wee bit more harder. And so on this one, you've got to make sure that you've got it done right. Let me get it off the camera here so I can make sure. I don't want the spring to go crazy on me here. That would be very, very, very bad. And you always want to function check your firearm after you get done field stripping it, and make sure that your firearm is working properly. Now this little spring right here, it has got some pressure under this where it's a double captive spring. So let's put this one back together. It's pretty simple. You do have to take care to line up the front, go by the trigger bar, line up the back like this, bring it all the way back, lock it in, then you can drop this lever. But this lever is not the easiest thing in the world to drop. Let's see this how it actuates. This is still a new firearm, and then you can drop it. You see how hard that was? That's got a whole lot more pressure behind it than the 380. Of course, you can press check it, make sure. Now this, you have the beaver tail safety, and you got the trigger bar safety. But as you can see, this is now it is in a single action trigger. So there's no staging. There's a little creep, little creep, little creep, little creep. And we've done hit the wall right here. We've hit a wall and a break. Here's the reset. Right there. It's tactile, you can feel it. And then a crisp break. See? Now the trigger stays back until, well, there you have it. Until you reset it right here. And but now on this one, you don't have to worry about that, because it is a double action, double strike capability. So what you can do is, let me show you. Now you can put your knuckle all the way like that, but for me, it is better to put more of the pad of your finger like this. I want to get you to see this. So there's the wall. You got that much. It's one stage. You see how that is? And that thing ain't gonna go off. Once you get that staged up, now it's easier to pull like this, but then it doesn't leave you a lot of room to strike. You can, see? Now let me show you the reset. It's right there. That's the reset. So you basically, you stage it up, and that trigger, you can see it's not gonna break until it gets right there's the wall. About 2.5 more pounds and it'll break. It's a double strike 2-stage trigger versus a single stage trigger. You've seen how when I shot this one, or not shot it, excuse me, when I dry fired it, you can see the trigger does not reset until you come over and rack it. So anyway, so this is the Springfield, and this is the comparison right here with it, and right here with this, the overall size comparison. And So as you can see, pretty similar, but yet a whole lot different. So 2 different guns for 2 different purposes. Great everyday carry gun, 7 rounds. Great everyday carry gun, 6 rounds plus 1. So this would be a 7 total capacity and an 8 total capacity. So I appreciate y'all, and if y'all enjoyed this video, please give it a like and give it a share and subscribe. There's going to be more videos to come. Hope to get a little bit better lighting situation going on, a little bit better camera situation going on than what we have now. So until next time, remember, it's not about what you're shooting, but it's about where you're going. This is Kevin with the Christian Second Amendment Association, and until next time, be safe and God bless.